Hi everyone! If you have watched my Inktober art haul video, you will have noticed that I bought a new white ink, or new to me at least. That sounds very exciting. And so this video is to test it out and see how well it performs. And for that, first I'm going to use black paper because that's the first thing that came to mind when I saw that white ink. And so my first test will be on the Stillman & Birn Nova series black paper. So the ink that I got is a German ink called DeAtramentis Document ink. It's waterproof, light fast, and best of all, it's ink for fountain pens. So the reason why when I saw this ink I was so excited about it is because usually white inks, they're too thick to use in fountain pens. They will clog them, and you will just need basically either a brush or a dip pen that are easily cleaned. This one is thin enough that it's not supposed to clog your pen, and I thought it would be so much fun to use it in a fountain pen, and so much more practical because you can take it with you if you want to go urban sketching. You just grab it and it's ready to use. It's not messy, hopefully, and yeah, so I thought it would be very interesting to try it out. So for my test, I'm using it in a TWSBI Echo fountain pen, and it's a medium nib. I just wasn't sure if it would flow as well in a fine nib or extra fine nib, because I was not sure how thick the ink was going to be. So I thought a medium nib would be great, and if anything, if I needed thinner lines, I could use my pen upside down to draw thinner lines if needed. So my very first test was pretty darn good. Simply writing on the paper was nice and smooth and flowy. The ink stayed pretty opaque, which is pretty amazing. Keep in mind that with black paper, results may vary. You might have some black papers that will absorb the ink more, and therefore it's not going to show as opaque as it is. So if you're not having a great result with the paper you're using, try another brand. So one of the first tests that I like to do with any kind of supplies that I get is just shading a sphere or potato, depending on how well a sphere I can draw. And when you work on black paper, of course you have to just draw the highlights, so you have to think a little harder when you build your layers. I thought it worked pretty well. At some point it felt like the nib was clogging, but I later realized that it's because I had to wait for the ink to dry on the paper before I added layers. It took me a while to figure that out, so I was frustrated for a little bit, but eventually I let my little sketch dry, and then I went after it again with another layer of white, and it was already pretty nice and opaque, and it made it even better. So I think this ink is pretty amazing. Just doing little doodles, doing little sketches like that already, I love it. So I was already pretty excited to use it on black paper, but I figured I would also do a quick sketch on a gray paper using both my black ink, also a DeAtramentis ink with another TWSBI Echo medium, and the white of course, and using the gray of the paper as a mid-tone. So I quickly drew my potatoes again to try to shade them, and I thought that the contrast between the black, the white, and the gray of the paper was really amazing. I think it's really good. And then I wanted to do another quick sketch, just a hand. I like to draw hands and feet and noses, and I think it's good practice since I really want to get better at ink drawing, hatching, cross-hatching. I'm still finding my style. I like practicing drawing hands and other body parts to do this. But before I started my last sketch, I wanted to try something else too. So I painted a little swatch of the black ink with my fountain pen, and I let it dry all the way. And then I wanted to see if I could draw on it with the white ink. It worked pretty okay, but for best results I had to add a few extra layers to really bring out the white. But that tells me that if I'm doing an ink drawing just in black, a fountain pen with this white ink would work great to add little highlights here and there. Back to my very last fast sketch, I used a mechanical pencil with a red lead to start, and then I realized that the red didn't show up at all on the gray paper. It works much better on the tan paper. So I switched to my blue lead, and that worked much better. Once I was done, I just kind of traced it again with a finer nib with the black ink, and then I just started hatching. I just looked at all those shadows and I started hatching it. And once I was satisfied, I just added the highlights with the white pen. That's pretty much it. I like that I can actually use my fountain pen upside down with the white ink, that it still will flow and give me finer lines. And now I'm wondering if it would actually work with a finer nib altogether. That's something I might try in the future. So my hand is not perfect. Again, it was really a quick sketch just to try that ink, because some of you who saw that ink in my art supply haul have been asking me about it, so I just wanted to do a quick demo to show you how well it works. I'm super happy. I'm so glad I bought it. I think it'll be fun, and it's a great addition to my art supply collection. And just using it on tone paper with a black fountain pen, I think it just makes me want to sketch with ink even more. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be using it, I don't think, for Inktober, because I have a specific sketchbook I want to use, and it's going to be on just white pages, and I don't want to spread my drawings on the different sketchbooks, so I'm not going to use this ink for Inktober, but I'm glad I get to try it before Inktober started. And I'll try it again once it ends. So that's it for now. I have one more video that I'll be posting before Inktober about a couple pens that I got. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I'll be happy to help. Thank you all for stopping by. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're feeling extra generous, you can also support this channel by clicking on the thanks button right next to the share button, right under this video. Have a wonderful day, everyone. I'll see you soon with another video, probably in a couple days. Bye.